Thank you. Commissioner, thank you for being here today. We've had several commissioners in our presence since this story has broke. Commissioner Schulman, Commissioner Miller were two that would not acknowledge that wrongdoing had taken place, and they would not apologize to the American people for what had happened. Commissioner Danny Werfel did say that something wrong has gone on here and apologize to the American people. So I was encouraged to hear you say that what you know now, that you do believe that inappropriate criteria were used to target specific organizations. So at least we're to the point that we do acknowledge that something did go wrong, correct?
Yes, inappropriate criteria were used. I don't think I used the word target, but I do acknowledge that applications were delayed unnecessarily and for too long.
Okay. Just a housekeeping item. I was back home in the district last week, and Rachel Killebrew, who is a treasurer of the McMinnville Breakfast Rotary Club, is sending a letter to the IRS to ask for a 501c3 organization, which will, among other things, help alleviate childhood hunger. I can tell her with confidence that you don't think their group will be targeted or delayed?
I can guarantee them they won't be, inappropriate criteria won't be used in any way. Delays are a different issue. One of our big challenges is, as a result of a lot of other things going on, we've built a backlog in the C3 area that we are aggressively dealing with. Our goal ultimately, especially for smaller local organizations, is to have a streamlined process that will be up and running by June. So I can guarantee her she'll get appropriate consideration. I wish I could promise her right now it would be very quick. By the end of this year, we're going to be in much better shape in processing C3s.
I'll pass that along. I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that. Our colleague, Mr. Clay, earlier called this a political witch hunt. Do you agree with that?
I've made no judgments about any of these 6 investigations going on. I think it is important for the public to feel satisfied that there have been thorough investigations. I would like to see them concluded earlier rather than later. Sure. But we'll play the hand we're dealt.
All right. What do you think? Does it kind of handicap this process when officials from the Justice Department announced that that there would not be any criminal charges in this investigation? And this, of course, was before any of the witnesses had been questioned, or that the President goes on TV on Super Bowl Sunday and announces that there's not a smidgen of corruption within the IRS. Can you agree with either of those things, knowing what you know now and knowing that, depending on, I guess, how you define inappropriate tactics being used?
As I've noted in the past, I haven't done any independent investigation of what went on. There have been people across the political spectrum, in Congress, outside of the Congress, in this committee and other committees, making conjectures and judgments about what happened. My view is I'm waiting for the investigations to be completed. We'll respond to the facts and we'll proceed.
You heard my colleague, Mr. Jordan, in his opening statement. He laid out a pretty good timetable, I think, for anyone listening about how this has gone down. Do you understand the timetable that he gave, and does that give you a lot of concern?
I understand the timetable he gave. There's other information. You've got volumes of documents. What the purpose of a final report is that you would have a committee report. You would come up with facts as you found them. There may or may not might be a bipartisan report. There might be a dissenting report. We'll have several investigative reports. When they're done, we'll know what the consensus is what happened. More importantly, as I've said, it's important for the public to know we've adopted all of the IG recommendations. So whatever the management failings were that existed have been resolved.
I think we're getting a little gun-shy on this committee because this scandal, the Benghazi scandal, have been referred to as phony scandals. We know inappropriate targeting went on. I'm afraid if Hillary Clinton were sitting out there, she would probably look us in the eye and say, the President's always been reelected. At this point, what difference does it make? You're not going to be that way, are you?
I've never said it doesn't make any difference. My position is that this was a serious issue. It deserved to be treated seriously. The IRS has done that. I think as a general matter, the investigators are doing that. As I say, again, my hope is that as soon as possible we can come to closure on it, agree on what the facts were. If there are additional things that need to be done, we will do them.
All right. Well, please get us the subpoenaed information. We can probably wrap this up much more quickly, and I thank you for your time.
Gentlelady from California is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. And Commissioner, thank you. You give me great confidence in the work that will be transpiring relative to this evaluation. You know, I must say, though, that when I think that $10 million has already been spent responding to inquiries by this committee, I'm curious at how much fraud could be unearthed within